Hi guys, welcome back to Advanced Excel program with Preeti. This is in continuation with session 5 and 6, wherein I had introduced pivot and some designing options of pivot. I will mention the link in the description below. In case you've missed the earlier sessions, you can go through it before you start with this session. To start with, in this session we are going to talk more on the options on how to create different views and what all options are available in pivot. So let's say you've created a pivot view and there is a change in your base data. Let's say there is some change in the existing columns, or there is some additional entries, some new orders, or there is some more information that you would want to give in your reports, so you would add some columns. Now there are two ways of adding columns. One is if you just do an insert and add a column. To select a column, the shortcut is Control space bar, and to add a column it is Control Shift plus. So for example, you have added a column like this. It ideally would not make much difference because the range was from year till year, right? So it automatically adds the new columns that you've added. But in case you would have added a column at the end of the data, so let's say you've added a column here, some offers or something, okay, this will not get added in your base in your pivots. The reason being because you have mentioned a specific range, so it was from year till year. Automatically the range won't increase, so that's the reason why you would have to come and add your range every time there is an change in your base data. Let's see how to do that. And in case if there is just some data change, so let's say some product name has changed, or maybe something was wrongly written, some ID was wrongly written, or there is a customer name change, whatever any changes inside this data, you can simply do a refresh. You go to analyze, you do refresh. Okay, it refreshes the data, and in case there is any change, it will automatically update over here. Be it text, numbers, calculations and all will automatically happen. And as I said, if there is a reference change, let me just add a column to show you how that works. So for example, I had this new column here, and if you click on this change data source, you will get to know till where your reference is. If I'll just scroll to the right, see your reference is limited till what you had selected earlier. It will automatically not change. So for that cases, you'll have to always either just increase the selection by doing a click and drag, or you use your keyboards, which is Control Shift plus right arrow key, or if you want to be safe, you just don't want to take any risk, start from beginning, you can do Control Home and go to the first cell, A1 cell. So if you see, it comes over here, the range comes as orders exclamation A1. Orders is your sheet name, so A1 till the last cell. Okay, A1, just delete it again. Control Home, that takes you to the first cell always. I want to select the entire data. You can do a Control A, but if you notice, it selected the last cell of Excel. Avoid doing this mistake because it would make your data a bit heavy, because it is taking the entire sheet and there could be chances of your system, your Excel getting hanged and all that. So avoid such mistakes. I did Control Home. I do Control Shift right arrow key to select all the rows till the right, all the columns till the right, and Control Shift down to select all the columns till the end. Again, the rules that I had said in the first session, that you have to ensure that there are no blank rows or columns, remains the same even when you're changing your references. So just ensure there is no blank rows after this, and this is your last row, and then you do OK. So this is how your rows will get your data will get updated, and if you see that new column has come over here. At any point you would want to delete that column, you can just come here and delete it. Let me just delete because there is no data in this. It's not addition of data, so I can simply refresh it. Okay, so my data is refreshed now. Let's say if I want to clear it out completely, or if I want to select pivot, you have some options here. If you want to select the entire pivot, let's say you want to copy it, you can select it and then just do a simple copy paste and create some different views here. Let's say I just want to show category wise, or let's say I want to just show it region wise. You can just change the views. I want to move the pivot. You can just go to analyze, move pivot table. Now if you see, the reference is F5. Let's say I want to keep it in line with the previous one, so I'll just change it to this. I'll do okay. You can even create it in a new sheet. You have all the possible options. Let me just create a little bigger one. Okay, so these are different pivots that I've created over here. In case you want to clear a pivot, you come over here and clear it. You'll still have this area. You just want to get rid of it, you can simply delete the columns also. Just select that many columns and do Control minus to delete those columns. Excel also has a very beautiful feature of recommending pivot tables. So if you see, there is an option over here called recommended pivot tables. So it just gives it's just like an intelligent tool which will give you some samples. Like let's say you're not able to figure out how to present the data, or what are the different views in which you can present the data. You can just explore this option. It will give you by what all ways you can present. So let's say it's giving over here sum of profit by state. So if you want to show something state wise, something by region wise, so you'll get a preview, quick preview over here. And in case you like it, you can just select it and do okay. It added a sheet over here. Once again, it added a view over here and it has replaced the existing one. In case I want a different view, this is the one which I had created earlier. I had created even this view, if you remember the second pivot that I had. Let me try this. Okay, so this is if you see, there are some plus signs and there is something over here called order ID. So it's actually region wise, order ID and sum of quantity. It is actually collapsed. So if you click on the plus, it will expand. It will give you all the order IDs in that particular region and the number of quantities sold. Now instead of me doing it one by one, there is an option wherein you can do it at once. So if you see over here, you have an expand field which will expand all the fields at once. So this is ideally used like in cases where your data is huge. Now if you see, this is a very huge data, and that's the reason why that option was used in the first place. So if you want to collapse it, you can just quickly collapse it and you can show just a high level overview. And in case at any point you feel that order ID is too much details to be shown in this view, you can anytime remove it, or you can keep a specific filter. Now there is a beautiful feature in Pivot wherein you can show the timeline. Okay, so you have a timeline feature. I have of course spoken about the filters, but that is just simple filters. The timeline also does a similar thing, but ideally it will work on date columns. Okay, so if you have a date column, then only it will work on it. You click on this timeline option. you get all the date fields in this. So if it is a proper date format, then only it will be shown. For example, let me take order date. So when I had received the order, I'll just put some filters, or I'll just explore something on it. So if you see over here, it gives you the entire time period of which my data is of. So if you see, it is from 2014 Jan till 2017 December. Let's say if I want to select a specific year or specific month, you can just click and drag. Let's say I want for the period July to December 2017, so you can accordingly just select it like this. You can drag it. Okay. You can click on single months, or you can click on a period, and accordingly that would be displayed over here. Now here it's currently displaying as months. You can also display it as years or quarters. Quarters, it is the default calculation, so the first 4 months it will be like Q1, Q2, that's how it will go. Oh, sorry, the first 3 months it will be Q1, the next 3 months it is Q2. So let's say I take years, I can select a specific year, and if I take quarters, so Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, that will start from Jan. So there is no specific range that you can give over here, but you can just have a default 3-month data views. You want to remove filters at any point, you can just clear the filters. You can also give day wise, but not advisable for this view, because this is a very huge data for 4-5 years. If it was, let's say, for a particular month, then giving day wise would be advisable, but if it is years, then day wise I doubt would be that useful, because you may not get that amount of data also, that much amount of data in each of the dates. Again, it depends on your data and how you would want to present it. I'll just take a year. You also have some quick formatting options to just match the color scheme in which you're working on. There is another dynamic filter called as slicer. It is similar to this timeline. You have to select the filters you would want to show. Let's say I take region is already present, so it may not be that useful. Let's say I take category. If I take segment, I'll do okay. So I've taken few tables. Okay, so let's say if I just want to, I'm presenting my data to someone and I want to quickly filter and show, instead of going to filters and just doing the basic filters or doing filters from here, you can just give a better presentation by keeping these slicers and timelines, and you can just click and your data changes. So let's say I want to show consumer data for office supplies, or if I want to show corporate data for office supplies, you can just click and change the view in one go. So that is a plus point of this features. It's very good when you have to present it and create like a beautiful dashboard. Probably we can take a session later on to create a dashboard by using all of these options which is available in Pivot. And at any point you would want to delete it, you just select this on the border and you'll delete it. And as soon as you delete, if you notice, the filters of that particular timeline or slicer is gone. Even the colors of these slicers can be changed to match your background. Okay, Okay, now one thing you need to remember when you are working with the slicers and timelines, in case you want to change the reference, cut it from one thing you need to remember when you work with slicers, please. So in this filter connections, you'll get to see what all filters you have present in this view. Let me just delete it. Deleting all of it, and I'm going to my basic data. Let's go to options and just explore some important options. In case there is any headers you would want to merge, you can merge it from here. As I said, you cannot directly perform any operations in your pivot area, so you can just use these options and you can merge headings. I'll show you the ones which is like the important ones, or which could be used. For example, just let me create some view actually. Creating a small table just to show you where these things can be used. Sorry. So let's say there was no sales for this particular quantity. As I earlier said, the entire row should not be blank, but if there are some columns which is blank, it is fine. Let's say if I create a quick pivot out of this data, and I'll say existing worksheet. This is just a working sheet, and I want to just quickly show you some features. So I'll just create category wise, quantity wise. It's going to give me a similar view, but if you notice, there are blanks. Now there could be scenarios when there is a blank. So for example, a particular salesperson has not done sales for a specific period, and there would be blank values against it. You do not want to show it as blanks for presentation purpose, and you would want a 0. Or let's say at some scenarios you've performed some calculations and there is some errors that is being displayed in your pivot. So for all those options, you can use that pivot table option wherein it says hide it with a value. So you right click and you go to pivot table options. You can also go to options from here, it's one and the same thing. So here it says for empty cells show some value. So you can write any numeric text or alphabet, anything. You can write any character over here. So you can just write numbers because it is numeric data, so it's better to keep numeric, and you'll do okay. So wherever there was 0, now here I created a small table and there was just one blank, and as I said, you cannot directly edit this numeric column, so that's the reason why you have this good feature over here which can very easily fill in the values. Let us just quickly explore some other important features here. Totals, these are like most of the things we have already covered in the design tab, showing grand total, subtotal and all that, so nothing new in this. This is to expand, collapse. There is one option here which is to create it as a classic layout. Classic layout is actually the layout which was used in older versions, and if people are more comfortable using that version, they prefer this layout. Let me quickly show how that works. So if you see, this is how it looks. You get to see a blue border. At times if you receive some reports and if you see this blue border, you can understand that it is the classic layout. How different it is working on this is basically you have these borders wherein you can directly drag it in this field. So for example, when I say that, it's like you click and you drag it here. Instead of dragging in this area, you can directly drag it here. So it's just a matter of comfort and convenience. Okay, you can just click and drag. Quantity would not look good there. Let's see, if I add sales, I get the total values. We keep categories here. So this is how you will create the default or the earlier version of pivot. You can keep this off, and if you notice, I'll just clear, you cannot drag it here as such, it will not let you. So that's the only difference if you see a classic pivot or this normal pivot. Let me just delete all this. Control spacebar and control minus. I'll right click, go to pivot table options again. This was one good feature in this. These are all printing options, how you'd want to print your pivot. A very beautiful feature in data tab. Refresh data when opening the file. This is very useful when you have many pivot tables from one data source. So for example, you have a sheet, okay, you have a base source data, and you have created multiple pivots out of this, and let's say you've placed it all over your sheet. So let's say, you know, I add 2 pivots. Let me just copy this pivot actually and create a different view. Sorry. Let's select the entire pivot, Control C. I'll click over here, Control V. Let's say Control V. I have 3 pivots. Let me quickly change my views. I'll take subcategory wise. Let's say in this I take city wise. Okay, so I have 3 different views. What happens is, whenever you do any changes in your base data, you'll have to always come and refresh your pivots, and in case there is a change in the reference, refresh is still better actually, but if let's say you have added a new column, okay, you'll have to come and change the reference in each of this pivot for this, because automatically these references won't change. So if you see, if I'll do change data over here, I'll change the reference and I'll do OK. This is just for this column. So if you see, in the end I have this new column added, but if you'll click over here, it is not added. That means you have to do it separately for each of this column. Or if in case you want to refresh, you can just right click and you can refresh, and you can do a refresh from here. And if there are many pivots, you'll have to do refresh individually. So a good feature is you keep this option on, refresh data when opening the file. So what happens is, it says that all of the data will be refreshed, which is from one source. So all of these pivots will be refreshed. So in case I do any base data changes now, any changes inside my data, and if I'll just close the file and open it, at once my pivots are refreshed. So it's a good feature which saves a bit of time, and you should explore it, especially if you're dealing with multiple charts, multiple tables. So we've covered most of the pivot table options in this session. I guess I'll take a leave now. In the next session, we will see how to create a pivot chart. Thank you so much, guys. In case there is any feature which you all have any query on, or if you all want me to explain any option in more detail, please let me know in the comment section. Thank you.